But when it came to exercise, so not only was I weird and quirky, I was also the big girl. I was the one that was picked last in PE, unless it was netball, because I could have really good aim and always score a goal. So, it was a silver lining somewhere. But in general, me and exercise did not click, and I never knew why. I just thought that, I hate exercise. And that was my understanding of my relationship when it came to sports, running, anything really. My diagnosis genuinely changed my life, not just because I was able to understand myself more, but because it enabled me to use that new understanding to kind of understand how I could exercise. So, the short version of this story is I was walking with my wife in the woods with our dogs, which we would do every day. At that time, I had a horse. I didn't ride said horse. So before anyone jumps on here and says, oh, how could you ride a horse when you were that big? Well, I didn't, but I had one that I cared for. So just set the tone there. And we're walking. My wife is smaller than me in terms of body weight, always has been, probably always will be. And she was out of breath. She's got some physical health conditions. Mine were mostly mental, but I wasn't out of breath. We're walking along and I was like quite smug because I wasn't out of breath, so therefore I must be fitter. And I guess an element of that was right. I had a higher kind of base level of fitness, let's say, where I didn't get breathless. But the more I sat with that conversation, the more I realized that I couldn't remember the last time I was out of breath. And then, so at the time, I wasn't a personal trainer, by the way. Remember, I hate exercise at this point. So there is, if someone had told me that in 3 years' time you'd be a qualified PT, I don't know. I just would have walked away in hysterics thinking they were crazy.